What's up, guys? So today I am gonna be doing a quick product review on the A7C II. So this camera is amazing. I'm currently showing the A7IV, and I currently own both the A7IV and the A7C II. I ordered both, so I'm a recent owner to both of them, and I came to the realization that these cameras are extremely similar. And let's get into it. So the A7 II, I went ahead and bought this camera. It is a beautiful camera. It is small. It is portable. It is lightweight. The similarities to A7 IV are all there. Same megapixel sensor. Videos pretty similar. Okay, so videos what we're going to talk about. I'm not a photographer. I make YouTube videos. I like taking pictures of like my kids and stuff and on my cars, stuff like that. But I'm not big in photography, which I'm trying to dive into. That's why I'm looking at the A7C II and A7 IV. I want to have the photo capability, not just the video. That eliminated the ZV-E1, the FX30 for me. I wanted something that was a hybrid, a real hybrid camera. So number one on my list was the A7 IV. I was jumping from a Sony ZV-E10. The A7 IV had everything I wanted, plus some. A lot of pro features that I don't think I'm going to use, but it's nice to have. And it's always better to upgrade to stuff like that before you actually ever need it, because then you already got that built into the camera you have. You don't have to go switch it up later, and it keeps you within your camera longer. And that's something we all want, at least most people want, right? Because the average person is not going to be buying every camera that comes out. So A7 IV, that was what I wanted. I also tested out the A7V, but I wanted a full frame. So that left it down to the A7C II and the 4. I ordered both, and turns out that the autofocus and the colors are different on the A7C II. Now, I'm sure it's capable to have the colors exactly the same, if not better, for one or the other, if you're proficient in your color grading. Now, I'm a very novice in color grading. I like to use the auto features right out the box. And right out the box, the A7C II has better colors. Yes, it's the same sensor, but the A7C II is using them better. All right, and that's just for a novice like myself. I'm speaking for myself. I know it's a saying. I know I'm gonna get flamed for saying that, but I wanted to make this review because, man, I'm torn between the two cameras. I don't know which one to keep. I like the portability and the size of this one because I'm coming from a ZV-E10 with the cage, and I was vlogging on that, but the IBIS on it was terrible, so I needed something with a better IBIS. The IBIS on the A7 II is better, but when you turn on the active stabilization, it's almost the same thing. You could go either way with the IBIS. So there, for that factor, IBIS is about equal for both with active stabilization. Now, with the standard and the IBIS, the digital stabilization off, the A7C II takes it again. So there's that one. And then now there's the autofocus. Autofocus, leaps and bounds way better on the A7C II. In general, you're not going to beat the autofocus on this camera. This camera's autofocus is amazing. It really does separate itself from the A7 IV. But that being said, depending on your use case, if you're shooting a lot of moving stuff, yes, A7C II is where it's at. But if you're doing like some stills, it's not really aiding too much. It's not aiding too much on the autofocus. So that's something to keep in mind. Viewfinder, way better on the A7 IV. If it's sunny outside, you want to zoom in this one right here. It's the picture in the viewfinder is really good. It's real clear and bright, but just putting your eye to it, it just doesn't feel as good as on the A7 IV. The memory card, this one's only a 1 memory card slot. So the A7 IV has 2. Depending on how you need it for a professional, I guess it's clear. You're not going to get the autofocus features you want just for the budget of this camera. Just go ahead and get the A7 IV. You're just going to miss out on some of the newer features here. The AI technology, all that does help with the video. The video colors feel better for me outside the box, just right out the box. Screens, identical. There's no special things about the screen. The switches up top, also almost identical, but I like. So all this is similar on the A7 IV. The A7 IV has one more dial. No, it's the same. All it's the same on the A7 IV on the top. Exactly the same. The what I like, it has these mode features, the switches here for the mode features. I like them better on the C2 because it's an easy click and it's sturdy. Both of these cameras, this one, even this small size, it's very sturdy. Materials feel really good, real sturdy. I mean, nothing cheap about this camera. And I thought because it was small, it was gonna feel cheap. Nothing cheap about this camera. It feels really good. It feels really good. The only weak point that I could see some failure in the grip here is really good. The only weak point I can see that's future point of failure is maybe the slots where you put HDMI or the headphone jack, stuff like that, because that does feel like it could break. But everything else, the camera, the screen, the flip, the little hinge here, the hinge is important because that takes a lot of wear and tear. This hinge here is really good. The top, the sides, everything. I mean, and it's a beautiful looking camera. So aesthetically, it's really good. Now you see my hands. When I'm holding it for a photo, it feels okay. I don't have big hands. But when I'm holding it for vlogging, and I want to try to show you guys from the front here, when I'm holding it for vlogging, my thumb sits here and it bumps into this between the lens right here. And I don't have big hands. So if you have big hands, I would like to see how you're holding this camera. For me, it feels a little weird. And I had to rest my pinky on it like this when I'm holding it. I'm going to try to show you guys inverse. So like this is how I'm holding it. If you imagine it flipped around, my pinky sits here. So I have to squeeze my hand in here. And it's not the most ergonomic. Over time, it gets annoying and it feels like the camera should be heavier. It feels heavier than what it actually is. Now, if I hold it like this, it feels good because now my pinky has it secures some of the camera more. But then this finger here it's just ready to shoot, I guess, but I don't like it because I don't need it. I don't need it there. I need it gripped up with the camera when I'm recording. When I'm vlogging, it's better this way. But then that leaves my pinky out and then it doesn't feel as secure, right? Because then this finger is working harder and I guess this finger is more used to having some pinky support helping it out. I don't know, but it just doesn't feel as natural to me. So I thought I'd make this video. I'm still torn between the two. I cannot decide, to be honest. I currently saved $300 on buying the A7IV aftermarket, and I bought the A7C II brand new. With taxes on Amazon, it came out to like $2,500. And on the A7IV, with taxes, it came out to like $2,200. So I am leaning more towards the 4, but I'm kind of torn on missing out the autofocus on the A7C II. Both are great cameras. I just wanted to make this video to see maybe I can help somebody out. Maybe if you're right on the line, right on the fence, which one you would choose. Just some of the positives with the A7C II. It's smaller. The autofocus is better. I do like the colors more. It's more newer features. And I'm not going to dive in completely on what each one does. I know this one's more future-proof as far as technology goes. You can stream better quality with this. You can stream up to 4K, 30 frames per second. And on the A7IV, you can only go up to 1080p at the highest quality. You can do 4K on the A7IV, my bad, but it's only 15 frames per second. And I don't see that being usable for modern streaming like in Twitch or YouTube, etc. I don't know why they would do that. But ergonomics, go for the 4 right now. But the features, I'm liking the features better on the 2. And on the 4, the hardware feels better. The dual card slots, the side panels to insert your headphones, etc. all feel better. The viewfinder feels better. So the more hardware features feel better. And on the software side, the A7C II is taking it. I shot this video today. I try to make an equal comparison. Some parts of my house, the A7C II picked up way more light. And on some parts of outside, the A7C II picked up more color. That's one thing I noticed. And that's with active stabilization. Other than that, the face, all that capture was pretty similar. And the shake on the walking and talking with the vlog was pretty similar. But I really couldn't tell huge differences other than that. I mean, honestly, let's say that was a huge difference because it did. My A7C II caught my background and my face a little bit better in the darker situations. That's a quick review. Please leave a comment and let me know which one you would pick. And then I will let you guys know on the first pinned comment on which one I actually decide. Because right now, I'm still testing them. I'm going to return one. I'm not going to keep both. I wish I could keep both. Now, if I could keep both, this would be perfect. Because I'd have my big full frame when I want it, and I have my little full frame when I'm trying to just be sleek, right? But thanks for watching. Peace.